Evening, guys.
Hey, how's it going, everyone?
What's up? It's your trusty Philip and Morland here. Another
Bring it,
night of the Daily Show.
bringing all the NFT news and some insider tips and everything you need to know.
Yeah, talking about news, just before we get into the real juicy content of today. So, first thing I want to show you here is Opensea a few days ago was able to raise $300 million, basically putting it at a valuation of $13.3 billion, which is incredible to think. Um, and they're definitely the leader of the NFT market as it stands now. We did do that other video on Shopify and Coinbase coming to the market and the effect that that's going to have, as well as the different markets that are popping up, including yesterday's one that looked rare where they did that token drop. But for now, they're firmly in the first place. Interestingly enough, next behind them is Axie Infinity. But they've got about 20% of the volume that OpenSea is doing. So they raised $300 million in Series C funding. And basically, they've said that they want to be using the funds to improve their customer service. So I really believe that that's them getting ready for the Shopify introduction. As we know, Shopify is known for their customer service, and OpenSea is known for not having any currently. But hopefully that is going to change, which will be good for all of us. But yeah, they're definitely getting ready to be able to take on the big boys that are coming into the space. So it just says here, according to OpenSea, the new funding gives the company a 13.3 billion post-money valuation. OpenSea is the largest marketplace in terms of all-time sales. The company's recorded 14.68 billion in sales across 1,387,357 traders worldwide. Sales are up more than 25% in the last 30 days. The second biggest, Axie Infinity, had a 4 billion, just under 4 billion all-time sales. And yeah, so that's interesting. Very good for all of us, for everyone in the space. The better they can make the experience on OpenSea, the better experience newcomers will have, and the more chance we have of them staying there and getting into the game, instead of having a problem and not being able to get hold of anyone. So that was the one thing I just wanted to bring to you guys. Other thing, which I'm really bullish on, really happy about, one of my favorite companies. I have Disney shares. I have for a long time in my portfolio. I love the company, but they got their patent for Metaverse technology that's going to link with reality and AR. Interestingly enough, they're working on something new that is going to not need the virtual headset.
Oh,
But
wow.
you'll still be able to be immersed in it. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, that's what the patent was for, which is really, really interesting. This article was dated yesterday, and that patent has been approved on the 9th of January. And I mean, when a company of this size comes into the space, it's a huge uplift for the whole space, and really shows that this, again, like we know, this is the future. And if you think about the effect of the pandemic, what it's had on Disneyland, it's been massive. First of all, their parks, which is a big part of their income throughout the world. A lot of them have had to close for long periods of time. And then on top of that, the movie revenue. A lot of movie houses have had to close. So they're really one of the worst hit sectors. The things that they have going for them is obviously their like their Netflix type thing where you pay to watch, and that's looking really great. They're still early; they're not making money from that at the moment, but they will, and they've got no shortage of content. Whereas Netflix has got all the users and busy making content. Disney's the opposite.
Yeah.
They've got all the content, and they're getting the users. I think they picked up 1 million users in like a day or something. I mean, so they'll get there. And obviously their movie revenue, and this reimagining of all these different stories that we've watched before and all the superhero stuff. But
Yeah.
again, if there's no movies to show it on, then it becomes a bit of a challenge for them. So the metaverse really makes sense. If they could have movies showing there, where anyone in the world can go to the premiere of the latest movie and have events and have a Disney World in the metaverse, I think it's incredible. So it's something really exciting.
Well, and if I could
And
just jump in, Philip, too, think
yeah,
about the uh Disney IP, right? Like you said, they have all the superhero stuff, they've got all the princesses, they've got all the intellectual property. And I think personally they could be the metaverse that stands the test of time, right? Like Facebook turned into Meta, but they don't have anything. They've got a user base and a social idea. But when you've got Disney and they've got all the characters, imagine a metaverse where you're walking around with Iron Man and Spider-Man, right? Like
for
that
sure.
that's something that is really enticing to a lot of people. So if you've got the IP, I think they're going to be the one that makes it through.
I agree. I mean, I think it's great. Also, they've got no shortage of artwork to do NFT collections,
That's
right?
true.
I mean, they
Exactly.
could just
Yeah.
launch them throughout. I mean, it's just incredible. I'm sure that's not their main focus. They want to build an amazing destination, a virtual destination. But yeah, I mean, that's really interesting, and really exciting. And then just one other thing, Steve Aoki spent 270 ETH Doodle. At the time, that was $862,000. Before him was Pranksy, just a few days before, who spent 296 Ethereum, which was $1.12 million. I still can't believe I sold my Doodle at 2.7, number one. And number two, I still can't believe that the rise of Doodles has been so quick. I was expecting it to be more gradual. I knew it was a great project. I knew the founders were seasoned and great. And when I sold, I intended on getting back in when it dipped, and it has not dipped. It's just completely carried on going. So yeah, interesting. Doodles is doing incredible. I think last I checked, they're about a 10.5 or 11 ETH floor. Going to be interesting to see when this slows down a bit, which our friend Gas might slow everything down a bit. Hopefully
Yeah.
not, but it's going to be
Everyone's
interesting to see.
everyone's best friend gas.
Yeah,
Such a
it's going to
pain.
be interesting to see the support level that Doodle comes back to.
Yeah.
But I think 10 ETH is the new normal for them. So
Oh
yeah,
wow.
interesting stuff.